Hello and welcome to this video tutorial. Now in this video tutorial I'm going to show you the powerful feature of the AI image designer. Okay, so in order to find this feature, when you actually enter Artistly, you see in create design, it is the fast AI image designer. Okay, so when you fall on this feature here, AI image designer, it's going to give you a instruction, write your prompt here. So the fascinating thing with this AI image designer, it's very intuitive. Okay, so straight away you're going to see you can enter your prompt here. So this is essentially what kind of design are you looking to create. So you would create a prompt, give some kind of instruction. So say for this example, create let's go for create a alien, or actually instead of let's do alien, let's just keep this professional, right? Create a businessman in the office. Okay, very simple, very straightforward. Okay, nothing too complicated about it whatsoever. However, I would always suggest, if you can possibly extend the prompt and just be a little bit more specific, you'll get a better design from Artistly. Okay, however, to make things even better for you, okay, so let's just say we start with this, create a businessman in the office. So say for example, create a middle aged businessman, okay, with white hair, for example, in the office. Okay, that's just a simple prompt. Now straight away we've got something called generate image. So you could generate the image literally like that. Okay, or you'll see additional settings such as select style. So within this section here, you can actually have 2D and 3D animated, photorealistic, photo colors, comic, architecture, sticker, animate, pixel. Okay. Also, additionally, we have customized settings. Now, the moment I select customized settings, it will now take me to the bottom of the screen. Okay, so you can see this is the original prompt section at the top, and it's opened up this additional section here that has even further more customization ability. Okay, so you can go and customize your design in terms of the aspect ratio. So you can actually change the aspect ratio or the dimensions of the design you intend to create. So we're talking about 1:1, 16:9, 21:9, etc, etc. So you can really customize that aspect ratio to get it the best possible for whatever device or whatever purpose that you have in mind. Okay, very, very important indeed. Now, also, additionally, you can actually select the quantity. So the amazing part of this section also, when you do create your design, you can actually designate how many variations you want of that design. So instead of just being stuck with one design, Artistly will go ahead with the prompt that you've created. Okay, it'll go ahead and create 4 different variations, or up to 4 different variations of that design. So it gives you a choice. So ultimately, when you get the design created, you've got 4 to choose from and see which one you love the most, whether it's you or for your client or whatever it may be. So it's always great, right, having that choice. Now, furthermore, if you look at the additional settings, you can actually choose the lighting, soft, dramatic, natural, high contrast. Select the different types of mood, whether you want it cheerful, mysterious, calm, dark, the color palette, vibrant, monochrome, pastel, earthy. You've got art medium. We've got different perspectives, first person, bird's eye view, side, isometric, and even the environment you can actually change if you want, or be more specific and alter the environment that you want it, and choose composition, whether you want it close up, wide angle, symmetrical, asymmetrical, minimalistic, okay, and busy. So you've got all of these choices to really modify and get that specific design that you may have in mind. Now, if I now come back to the section where it says write your prompt here, now let's kind of work on this a little bit, and I'll show you the powerful options that you have available to you. So you don't need to be an expert when it comes to creating a prompt. Just create a simple prompt, that an idea you may have in mind. Okay, to put as much information as possible. Okay, you can keep it as short as possible, but try to put as much information as you want. However, let's say in this example, I've put a simple prompt, a 1-line prompt, create a middle-aged, okay, my spelling's off, so middle-aged businessman with white hair in the office. Now, what you're seeing, as I'm typing this, I'm just going to type some dots there. Just keep your eye down here as well, okay, in this prompt. As I'm typing, can you see how it's duplicating everything there? Now, the reason being, which I'll show you in just a moment, this will be the final prompt that gets created. Okay, so straight away with the style of design, I can actually have 2D, 3D animated, whatever it may be. Okay, or photorealistic, etc, etc. Now I also have the option of prompt enhancer. Now this is where some of the real magic happens also with this section, or this feature more specifically. Okay, so the moment I've selected prompt enhancer, okay, or I deselect, I want you to keep an eye on this tab here. Okay, it says generate image. Once I select prompt enhancer, can you see it says generate prompt? Now what this is allowing me now to do is specifically enhance the prompt that I've created. So what Artistly will now do for you, or more specifically the AI, okay, it will intuitively take the prompt and it'll expand it to make a more comprehensive prompt. Because the better prompt or input or instructions that are created will give you a much more tailor-made design, okay, at the end, or the output, as we say. Okay, so what I do, let's just say prompt enhancer. I go ahead and select generate prompt, and now keep an eye on the main prompt section here, which you will see it will now, we'll give it a few moments, let it update, and you will see it will comprehensively or further enhance that simple prompt that was created here. So check this out now. Okay, so let's review. Create a realistic image of a middle-aged business executive, approximately 50 to 55 years old, with a distinguished appearance and a head full of thick, snow-white hair that is starting to thin at the temples. So I'm not going to read all of it, but you can now see the power of that simple prompt has now been expanded. Okay, it's been enhanced. So what this now allows us to do, that we've got a better instructional prompt for the AI to go off and design something that is completely amazing. Okay, however, we can also go and we can make edits within that prompt, because sometimes all you need is to give the idea to the AI, let it expand upon it, and then we can actually modify and actually tailor make it until we are happy with the prompt at the end. Okay, because the prompt is what's important, that's going to go off and create the design, right? So you've got that option of going through this and seeing what you like, and you can make adjustments either to the person, maybe his facial features, or maybe you want to change the color of his clothing, maybe the environment, any modification you want, you can actually address that within the prompt itself. Alternatively, to make things even much more easier, instead of going through the entire prompt, maybe you're happy with the prompt, okay, you can actually now select edit prompt with AI. So here we have the current prompt. Okay, so this entire prompt is now being populated in this window under current prompt. Okay, and instead of having to change everything, because you may be happy with the prompt, you can actually designate specific instructions to edit the prompt. So say for example in this, if he had white hair, okay, snow white hair, we could say change the hair to black hair. Okay, or maybe if there was, as you can see in the example, if you had a cat in the example, or in this example there's a middle-aged man, I could have a middle-aged female. Okay, so we can change gender, we can change the type of animal, I guess, as well, just to state that in the prompt. Change maybe the background, you'll modify the environment, anything that you want. You can actually put those examples into the instructions, and then the AI will take your updates and incorporate that and edit the current prompt accordingly to your updates that you require in terms of the prompt. So it's very, very simple. If you want to make any changes, instead of having to go through everything, you can just put some simple stuff in there. Okay, so once I close that, let's go ahead and select 4. Let's keep this photo realistic, and let's keep the aspect ratio as such, and then I'm going to go ahead and select generate image. So this is really important. So this is one of the amazing features of having the ability to choose up to 4 different variations that you can choose from. So you can always have those variations and choose the one that you love the most. So now I'm going to go ahead and select generate image, and we'll give that a few moments. You can see now we will be redirected to the personal design section, and just like that, we've got some variations that have been created very, very quickly. And the great thing about this is that once these variations have been created, okay, so you can designate how many you want. We've got this gentleman here, okay, so I can now see which one I like the best, okay, which one is the most appealing to me in my kind of vision. Now I've got a choice. Either I can save as is and I can download, that's not a problem. I've got the option of further enhancing this. The moment I select edit this image, it will redirect me to the advanced AI image design section, okay, of the platform, and then I can make further enhancements. If I want to do in painting, maybe I want to change the color of his hair, maybe I want to change any element within the picture, maybe I want to add more text to the image, or maybe I want to layer different objects, or even if I want to expand the scene, or even if I want to do face swapping and have my face upon his, that's what we can do via the editing section. Okay, also if I go to view, I also have other abilities within this functionality. Okay, so if I want, I can regenerate the image, and I can do this as much as I want until I get a really good graphical design that I like. Okay, or it may be a case I want more versions or different versions, and also if there was any issues, maybe if you had hands and there was any blurring or something, something needed fixing, we can also train the AI to fix the image and make those adjustments accordingly. And the great thing is you can actually see the design prompt that was created. Okay, and we can actually share on different social medias, and also you do have that ability to organize. There's another tutorial on personal designs where you can actually have this structured and put in the designated folders that you create, or you can leave it as is depending on the project. So as a recap, you can use the AI image designer, put in your prompt, a man with a hat on the beach. Okay, you have the ability of keeping it simple. You can use as is, or you can actually enhance the prompt. Okay, you can generate that prompt and it'll expand the prompt, and the key thing here is you can change things like the aspect ratio, all the other modifications of the image. Feel free to try different aspects or different design customization ability here. And then you've got the most important thing here, you can have that ability to create up to 4 variations or quantity of the design that you create. And just to bear in mind, once you have your enhanced prompt, you can actually edit the prompt specifically and give it direct instructions instead of changing the entire prompt in its entirety. So hopefully you've enjoyed this video. And now you have the ability of not only creating extended prompts using a single prompt, but you can actually create even more variations in terms of 4 variations of your design instead of just doing one at a time. That just gives you more flexibility, more freedom to actually have that choice. And it's all about choice of being able to decide which one you love the most. And it's very time efficient and very effective. And just to mention also, as mentioned on another tutorial, you do have the other ability of creating a prompt here from scratch. However, this one won't give you the ability of creating those 4 variations as the AI image designer does. Okay, so go ahead and try out this powerful tool, the AI image designer, and try out creating variations of the design. Okay, you got up to 4 different variations, and you saw in this demonstration how quickly some of those designs actually get created, and this looks hyper realistic. If I want, I can go ahead and regenerate or fix the image, whatever it may be. Okay, so apart from that, hopefully you've enjoyed this video, and I shall see you in another video. Take care, bye bye.